Assalamu alaikum. I'm Baba bin Asif Khan. I'm an MS data science student from IBA, and today I'm going to present to you my data science project in machine learning. So the corporate domain that I have picked is rainfall prediction. This is regarding the a subset of weather prediction. So basically, uh, traditionally, just to give an intro, traditionally weather has been forecasted using fluid dynamics and thermodynamics, but the results have been really unreliable as because some of the Earth system components such as the atmosphere, ocean, and cloud physics, they are very much interconnected, but they have not been well understood. This is why weather forecasting has always been a challenging problem. So we will attempt to use machine learning to solve the weather problem of to solve the rain to predict the rainfall of a particular country, which is Australia. Okay, so actually the data we would like to the variable we have to predict is whether is going to rain tomorrow or not. Okay, so just to give you an overview, so we have some of the features. For example, these are the locations. We in this data set we have about around 46 cities. Okay, for each city we have some of the features like minimum temperature, maximum temperature, then we have rainfall, the amount of rainfall which has fallen, and the amount of evaporation that has happened. You will see that some of the roads have missing values. Then the number of hours which had of sunshine. Then we have wind gust direction, then the speed of this wind, and then we have further a column like wind direction at 9 a.m., then wind direction at 3 p.m. Then we have wind speed at 9 a.m. and wind speed at 3 p.m., humidity 9 a.m., 3 p.m., pressure, cloud, temperature, whether it rained today, and this is a variable we would like to predict whether it will rain tomorrow or not. Okay, so this is there are around, if I'm right, 100,000 data points. This is the data set from 2008 to 2017. So we have a huge data set. We have huge number of points, and for each city they have given it. For each city from the year 2008 to 2017, we have all these. And now we see that there are so many missing values in our data set. So uh, the the column which we are putting in rain tomorrow. So for this we have just removed all of the data points that were missing. But for other column, like for example evaporation and sunshine, since there are lots of data was missing, so we cannot just simply replace. So what we did is we removed these two columns. And for other columns like pressure, temperature, even rain today, we took we, we studied the correlation, we studied the temperature or pressure for each city, and then we took out the median for that city in that particular month, and we replaced it with that median value. Okay, this is how the median was taken care of. The missing value was taken care of for this. Next, we will see the outliers in a data set. If we see here, but the box and whisker plot of numerical column, we see that for minimum temperature, so many points lie outside the minimum and maximum range. Similarly, for max temperature, even for rainfall, rainfall has the most amount of outliers. Okay, since sunshine, then we have wind speed. The problem is that if we see the count in a count of our outliers in each of the columns, we see that we have many of them. Rainfall being the most, with 20,000. So in order to we just cannot remove all of these outliers because they capture the most useful information. If in our data set, if we look at the count of yes and no of rain tomorrow, we notice that 20% of the data shows that the rain will rain tomorrow, which means that these outliers are very important because they capture the essential information which will be needed for a model to predict those those rain. So we are not going to drop any of the outliers. We're going to take it into a model. We go on and analyze the rain tomorrow column, which are the values yes and no. This is the graph showing the values over the year from 2008 to 2017. We see that values are less compared to the no. Similarly, for all of the cities, we have plotted the graph. Again, there are 46 locations, and locations which are very near to each other have similar kind of graph. So what we'll do, we'll try to group them into regions so that the analysis and even for the model to train, it will be easier. So in order to group them, I took out the latitude and longitude for each of the locations given, okay, using the code as shown over here. And then after that, I used the DB scan algorithm to cluster them. The DB scan algorithm, especially, it has a better performance compared to k-means clustering because it's able to handle the geographic location. And then based on the result of DB scan, we got 6 clusters for our data. One last step we will do before moving to the model is addressing the class imbalance. So if in our data set, which is rain, where we are predicting the rain tomorrow column, we see that the values of no are more than the values of yes. So this is a highly imbalanced data. So our model will not be able to predict the values of X accurately. So in order to address this, we are going to make sure that the number of yeses are same as the number of no's. So we have used a function. Okay, in this we are using the method called smart. So after running this function, we notice that the values of no are now equal to the values of yes. Okay. Now our data is ready to be fed into our model. Now for our model training, we have used different classification algorithm, but we see here that the best performing algorithm is random forest classifier with an accuracy of 90.6% and with the highest precision in recall among other classifiers. Okay, so this is again with feature selection. After applying feature selection, only the model was able to perform much better. Now we know that in addition to accuracy, the other important performance metrics for classification models are precision and recall. Now this is the rainfall prediction problem, and we know that rainfall affects many human activities such as traveling, construction, agriculture. So it is very important for us to have a reliable rainfall prediction model so that we can take preventative measures from before. So So for this, we need to make sure that we avoid false negative, which means that we want a model to predict that it's going to rain tomorrow when it is actually going to rain tomorrow. So based on this definition, we know that the random forest classifier has the highest recall performance. This means that this is the best model to predict the rainfall, and so this is one of the most reliable model at this moment for based on this data set.